Hello friends, welcome to Medical Live. We are going to discuss the chapter 4th of 12th NCERT, the reproductive health. We will read the whole chapter and discuss about the important point regarding the NEET exam. So without further delay, let us discuss about the chapter reproductive health. You have learned about human reproductive system and its function in chapter 3. Now let us discuss a closely related topic, reproductive health. What do we understand by this term? The term simply refers to healthy reproductive organ with normal functions. However, it has a broader perspective and includes the emotional and social aspect of reproduction also. According to World Health Organization, that is WHO, reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. It's physical, emotional, behavioral, and social. Therefore, a society with people having physically and functionally normal reproductive organs and normal emotional and behavioral interaction among them in all sex-related aspects might be called reproductively healthy. Why is it significant to maintain reproductive health and what are the methods taken up to achieve? Let us examine them. Reproductive health problem and strategies. India was among the first country in the world to initiate action plan and program at a national level to attain total reproductive health as a social goal. This program, called family planning, were initiated in 1951 and were periodically assigned over the past decades. Improved programs covering wider reproduction-related areas are currently in operation under the popular name Reproductive and Child Health Care, that is RCH programs. Creating awareness among people about various reproduction-related aspects and providing facilities and support for building up a reproductively healthy society are the major tasks under this program. With the help of audio, visual, and the print media, governmental and non-governmental agencies have taken various steps to create awareness among the people about reproduction-related aspects. Parents, other close relatives, teachers, and friends also have a major role in the dissemination of the above information. Introduction of sex education in schools should also be encouraged to provide right information to the young so as to discourage children from believing in myths and having misconceptions about sex-related aspects. Proper information about reproductive health, adolescence and related changes, safe and hygiene sexual practice, sexually transmitted diseases that is STD, AIDS, etc. would help people, especially those in the adolescent age group, to lead a reproductively healthy life. Educating people, especially fertile couples and those in marriageable age group about available birth control options, care of pregnant mothers, postnatal care of the mother and child, importance of breastfeeding, equal opportunity for the male and the female child disease, address the importance of bringing up society consciousness, healthy families of desired size. Awareness of program due to uncontrolled population growth, social evils like sex abuse and sex-related crime etc. need to be created to enable people to think and take up necessary steps to prevent them and thereby build up a socially responsible and healthy society. Successful implementation of various action plans to attain reproductive health requires strong infrastructural facilities, professional expertise and material support. These are essential to provide medical assistance and care to people in reproduction related problems like pregnancy, delivery, sexually transmitted diseases, abortion, contraception, menstrual problems, infertility, etc. Implementation of better techniques and new strategies from time to time are also required to provide more efficient care and assistance to people. Statutory ban on amniocentesis for sex determination to legally check increasing masses of female feticide. Massive child immunization etc. are some programs that merit mention in this connection. In amniocentesis, some of the amniotic fluid of the developing fetus is taken to analyze the fetal cells and dissolved substances. This procedure is used to test for the presence of certain genetic disorders such as Down syndrome, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, etc. Determine the survivability of the fetus. Research on various reproductive related areas are encouraged and supported by governmental and non-governmental agencies to find out now methods and or to improve upon the existing ones. Do you know that Saheli, a new oral contraceptive for the female, was developed by scientists at Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow, that is CDRI in India. Better awareness about sex-related matters, increased number of medically assisted deliveries, and better postnatal care leading to decreased maternal and infant mortality rate. Increased number of couples with small families, better protection and cure of STDs, and overall increased medical facilities for all sex-related problems, etc. all indicated improved reproductive health of the society. Let us discuss the population stabilization and birth control. In the last century, an all-round development in various fields significantly improved the quality of the life of the people. However, increased health facilities along with the better living condition had an explosive impact on the growth of population. The world population, which was around 2 billion, that is 2000 million, in 19th century dropped to about 6 billion by 2000 and 7.2 billion in 2011. A similar trend was observed in India. Our population was approximately 350 million at the time of our independence and reached close to the billion mark by 2000 and crossed 1.2 billion in May 2011. A rapid decline in death rate, maternal mortality rate, that is MMR, and infant mortality rate, IMR, as well as an increase in number of people in reproductive age are responsible reasons for this. Though our reproductive child healthcare RCH program, though we could bring down the population growth rate, it was only marginal. According to the 2011 census report, the population growth rate was less than 2%, that is 20 by 1000 per year, a rate at which our population could increase rapidly. Such an alarming growth rate could lead to an absolute scarcity of even the basic requirement, example food, shelter, and clothing. In spite of significant progress made in those areas, therefore the government was forced to take up serious measures to check this population growth rate. The most important step to overcome this problem is to motivate smaller families by using various contraceptive methods. You might have seen advertisement in the media as well as posters, bills, etc. showing a happy couple with 2 children with a slogan "Hum do hamare do." We do our two. Many couples, mostly the young urban working ones, have even adopted and one child not. Statutory rising of marriageable age of the couple female to 18 years and that of the male to 21 years, and incentive given to couples with small families are two of the other measures taken to tackle this problem. Let us describe some of the commonly used contraceptive methods which help prevent unwanted pregnancies. An ideal contraceptive should be user-friendly, easily available, effective and reversible with no or least side effect. It also should in no way interfere with the sexual drive, desire and or the sexual act of the user. A wide range of contraceptive methods are presently available, which could be broadly grouped into the following categories, namely natural, traditional barriers, IUDs, oral contraceptive, injectables, implant, and surgical methods. Let us see the natural methods. In natural method, works of the principle of avoiding chances of ovum and sperm meeting. Periodic abductions is one such method in which the couple avoid or abstains from the coitus from the day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle. Periodic abstinence is one such method in which the couple avoid the abstinence for coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle, when ovulation could be accepted. As chances of fertilization are very high during this period, it is called the fertile period. Therefore, by abstaining from coitus during this period, therefore conception could be prevented. Withdrawal or coitus interruptus is another method which the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation so as to avoid insemination. Lactational amenorrhea, absence of menstruation method is based on the fact that ovulation and therefore the cycle do not occur during the period of intense lactation following parturition. Therefore, as long as the mother breastfeeds the child, fully chances of conception are almost nil. However, this method has been reported to be effective only up to a maximum period of 6 months following parturition, as no medicine or device are used in this method. Side effects are almost nil. Chances of failure, though, of this method are also high. In barrier method, ovum and sperm are prevented from physically meeting with the help of barrier. Such methods are available for both male and female. Condoms are barrier made of thin rubber latex sheets that are used to cover the penis in the male or the vagina and cervix in the female just before the coitus, so that the ejaculated semen would not enter into the female reproductive tract. This can prevent conception. Nirod is a popular brand of condom for the males. Use of condom has increased in recent years due to its additional benefit of protecting the user from contracting STIs and AIDS. Both the male and female condoms are disposable, can be self-inserted and thereby gives privacy to the user. Diaphragm, cervical cup and bolts are also barrier made up of rubber that are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during coitus. They prevent conception by blocking the entry of sperm through the cervix. They are reusable. Spermicidal cream jellies and foams are usually used along with this barrier to increase their contraceptive efficiency. Another effective and popular method is the use of intrauterine devices, that is IUDs. These devices are inserted by doctors or expert nurses in the uterus through vagina. These intrauterine devices are presently available as the non-mediated IUDs. Example, Liposlip, copper releasing IUDs. Copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375. And the hormone releasing IUDs are progesterone and LNG20. These two are a very important point. You have to remember these points. And the IUDs increase phagocytosis of sperm within the uterus, and the copper ions released suppress sperm motility and the fertility capacity of sperm. The hormone releasing IUDs in addition make the uterus unsuitable for implantation and the cervix hostile to the sperm. IUDs are ideal contraceptives for the female who want to delay pregnancy and space children. It is one of the most widely accepted methods of contraceptive in India. Oral administration of small doses of either progesterone or progestogen-estrogen combination is another contraceptive method used by the female that are they are they are used in the form of tablets and hence are popularly called the pills. Pills have to be taken daily for a period of 21 days, starting preferably within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle after a gap of 7 days during which menstruation occurs. It has to be repeated in the same pattern till the female desires to prevent conception. They inhibit ovulation and implantation as well as alter the quality of cervical mucus to prevent retard entry of sperm. Pills are very effective with lesser side effects and are well accepted by the females. Sahili, the new oral contraceptive for the female, contains a non-steroidal preparation. It is a 1-week pill with very few side effects and high contraceptive value. Progesterone alone or in combination with estrogen can also be used by female as injection or implant under the skin. Their mode of action is similar to that of pills and their effective period are much longer. Administration of progesterone or progesterone-estrogen combination or IUDCs within 72 hours of coitus have been found to be very effective as emergency contraceptive as they could be used to avoid possible pregnancy due to rape or casual unprotected intercourse. Surgical methods, also called sterilization, are generally advised for the male-female partner as a terminal method to prevent any more pregnancies. Surgical intervention blocks gametes transport and thereby prevent conception. Sterilization procedure in the males is called a vasectomy and that in female it is called a tubectomy. In vasectomy, a small part of vasa deferens is removed or tied up through a small incision on the scrotum, whereas in tubectomy, a small part of fallopian tube is removed or tied up through a small incision in the abdomen or through vagina. These techniques are highly effective but their reversibility is very poor. It needs to be emphasized that the selection of a suitable contraceptive method and its use should always be undertaken in consultation with qualified medical professionals. One must also remember that contraceptives are not regular requirement for the maintenance of reproductive health. In fact, they are practiced against a natural reproductive event, that is conception and pregnancy. One is forced to use the method either to prevent pregnancy or delay or space pregnancy due to personal reasons. No doubt the widespread use of this method have a significant role in checking uncontrolled growth of population. However, there are possible ill effects like nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough bleeding, irregular menstrual bleeding, or even breast cancer, though not very significant, should not be totally ignored. The Medical Termination of Pregnancy Abetment Act in 2017 was enacted by the Government of India with the intention of reducing the incidence of illegal abortion and consequent maternal mortality and morbidity. According to this act, a pregnancy may be terminated on certain considered ground within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy on the opinion of one registered medical practitioner. If the pregnancy has lasted more than 12 weeks but fewer than 24 weeks, two registered medical practitioners must be of the opinion, formed in good faith, that the required ground exists. The grounds for such termination of pregnancies are: first, the continuation of the pregnancy would be involve a risk to the life of the pregnant woman or of grave injury, physical or mental health. Second is there is a substantial risk that if the child were born, it would suffer from such a physical or mental abnormalities as to be seriously handicapped. Let us see the medical termination of pregnancy, that is MIT. Intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term is called a medical termination of pregnancy or induced abortion. Nearly 45 to 50 million MTPs are medical termination of the pregnancies, that is MTP. Intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancies before full term is called a medical termination of pregnancy, MTP, or induced abortion. Nearly 45 to 50 million MTPs are performed in a year all over the world, which account to 1/5 of the total number of conceived pregnancies in a year. Whether to accept legalized MTP or not is being debated upon in many countries due to emotional, ethical, religious and social issues involved in it. Government of India legalized MTP in 1971 with some strict conditions to avoid its misuse. Such restrictions are all the more important to check indiscriminate and illegal female feticides, which are reported to be high in India. Why MTP? Obviously, the answer is to get rid of unwanted pregnancies either due to casual unprotected intercourse or failure of the contraceptive used during the coitus or rapes. MTPs are also essential in certain cases where continuation of pregnancy could be harmful or even fatal either to the mother or to the fetus or both. MTPs are considered relatively safe during the first trimester, that is, up to 12 weeks of pregnancy. Second trimester abortion are much more riskier. One disturbing trend observed is that in majority of MTPs are performed illegally by unqualified quacks, which are not only unsafe but could be fatal too. Another dangerous trait is the misuse of amniocentesis to determine the sex of the unborn child. Frequently, if the feticide is found to be female, it is followed by MTP. This is totally against what is legal. Such practices should be avoided because these are dangerous both for the young mother and the fetus. Effective counseling of the need to avoid unprotected coitus and the risk factors involved in legal abortions, as well as providing more healthcare facilities, could reverse the mentioned unhealthy trait. Let us see the sexually transmitted infection, that is STDs. Infection or diseases which are transmitted through sexual intercourse are collectively called sexually transmitted infection, that is STIs, or venereal diseases (VD), or reproductive tract infection (RTI), gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital rats, trichomonosis, hepatitis B, and of course the most discussed infection in the recent years, HIV, leading to AIDS, are some of the common STIs. Among these, HIV infection is most dangerous and is discussed in detail in chapter 8. Some of these infections like hepatitis B and HIV can also be transmitted by sharing of injection needles, surgical instruments, etc. with infected person, transfusion of blood, or from an infected mother to the fetus too. Except for hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV infection, other diseases are completely curable if detected early and treated properly. Early symptoms of most of these are minor and include itching, fluid discharge, silent pain, swelling, etc. In the genital region, infected females may often be asymptomatic and hence may remain undetected for long. Absence or less significant symptoms in the early stages of infection and the social stigma attached to the STIs deter the infected person from going for timely detection and proper treatment. This could lead to complications later, which include pelvic inflammatory diseases, PID, abortion, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancies, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract. STIs are a major threat to a healthy society. Therefore, prevention or early detection and cure of these diseases are given prime consideration under the reproductive health care programs. Though all persons are vulnerable to these infections, their incidence are reported to be very high among persons in the age group of 15 to 24 years, the age group to which you also belong. There is no reason to panic because prevention is possible. One could be free of this infection by following the simple principle given below. Avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners. Second, always try to use condoms during coitus. Third, in case of doubt, one should go to a qualified doctor for early detection and get complete treatment if diagnosed with infection. Let us see the last part of this chapter, infertility. A discussion of reproductive health is incomplete without a mention of infertility. A large number of couples all over the world, including India, are infertile. That is, they are unable to produce children in spite of unprotected sexual cohabitation. The reason for this could may physical, congenital diseases, drugs, immunological, or even psychological. In India, often the female is blamed for the couple being childless, but more often than not, the problem lies in the male partner. Specialized healthcare unit and fertility clinics etc. could help in diagnosis and corrective treatment of some of these disorders and enable this couple to have children. However, where such correction are not possible, the couple could be assisted to have children through certain specialized techniques commonly known as assisted reproductive technologies ART. In vitro fertilization IVF fertilization outside the body is almost similar condition as that in the body, followed by embryo transfer is one of such methods. In this method, popularly known as test tube baby program, ova from the wife donor female and sperm from the husband donor male are collected and are induced to form zygote under simulated conditions in the laboratory. The zygote or the early embryo with up to 8 plastomeres could then be transferred into the fallopian tube, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer, and the embryo with more than 8 plastomeres into the uterus, that is intrauterine transfer to complete its further development. Embryos formed in vivo fertilization, fusion of gamete within the female, also could be used for such transfer to assist those females who cannot conceive. Transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube, gamete intrafallopian transfer of another female who cannot produce one but can provide suitable environment for fertilization and further development. In another method attempted, intracytoplasmic sperm injection is another specialized procedure to form an embryo in the laboratory in which a sperm is directly injected into the ovum. Infertility cases either due to inability of the male partner to inseminate the female or due to very low sperm count in the ejaculate could be corrected by artificial insemination techniques. In this technique, the semen collected either from the husband or a healthy donor is artificially introduced either into the vagina or into the uterus. Intrauterine insemination of the female. Though options are many, all this technique required extremely high precision handling by specialized professional and expensive instrumentation. Therefore, these facilities are presently available only in very few centers in the country. Obviously, this benefit is affordable to only a limited number of people. Emotional, religious, and social factors are also deterrent in the adaptation of this method, since the ultimate aim of all this procedure to have children. In India, we have so many orphaned or destitute children who would probably not survive till maturity unless taken care of. Our law permit legal adaptation, and it is as yet one of the best method for couple looking for parenthood. In this way, we completed the chapter reproductive health. Let us read the summary of this chapter. Reproductive health refers to a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is physical, social, emotional, behavioral. Our nation was the first nation in the world to initiate various action plans at national level towards attaining a reproductively healthy society. Counseling and creating awareness among people about reproductive organ, adolescence and associated changes, safe and hygienic sexual practice, sexually transmitted infection, include AIDS, etc., is the primary step toward reproductive health. Providing medical facilities and care to the problem like menstrual irregulation, pregnancy-related aspect, delivery, medical termination of pregnancy, STIs, birth control, infertility, postnatal child and maternal management is another important aspect of the reproductive and child healthcare program. An overall improvement in reproductive health has taken place in our country, as indicated by reduced maternal and infant mortality rates, early detection and cure of STIs, assistance to infertile couples, etc. Improved health facilities and better living conditions promoted an explosive growth of population. Such a growth necessitated intense propagation of contraceptive method. Various contraceptive options are available now, such as natural, traditional, barrier, IUDs, pills, injectables, implants, and surgical method. Though contraceptives are not regular requirements for reproductive health, one is forced to use them to avoid pregnancy or to delay or space pregnancy. Medical termination of pregnancy is legalized in our country. MTP is generally performed to get rid of unwanted pregnancy due to rapes, casual relationships, etc. As also in cases when the contribution of the pregnancy could be harmful or even fatal to either the mother or the fetus or both. Infections or diseases transmitted through sexual intercourse are called sexually transmitted diseases, STIs, pelvic inflammatory diseases, PIDs, stillbirth, infertility are some of the complications of them. Early detection facilitates better cure of these diseases. Avoiding sexual intercourse with unknown or multiple partners, use of condoms during coitus are some of the simple precautions to avoid contracting STIs. Inability to conceive or produce children even after 2 years of unprotected sexual cohabitation is called infertility. Various methods are now available to help such couple. In vitro fertilization followed by transfer of embryo into the female genital tract is one such method and is commonly known as test tube baby program.